Students, in this video lecture, we'll talk about the congestion management effect and what are the load flow methods for the smart grid design. We know that congestion is defined as one situation where the load flow leads to the violation of the operational limits, that is, the maximal thermal loading, voltage stability, or the n minus 1 security load. So, the congestion in smart grid is one of the common problem, mainly because of the increased penetration of the intermittent renewable sources and diminishing spare capacity of the grid, basically due to the extensive use of transmission system. So in competitive energy market, most of the time the grid operates very close to its capacity. Therefore, the congestions may occur frequently due to the unexpected line outages, generator outages, sudden increase in the demand. Then there may be some problems of the transmission line. Sometimes such congestions are not at all elevated intentionally due to the economic reasons, which are not only the decreases asset lifetime but also triggers the large blackouts. So in this way, the congestions are very important. They are the common problems which are repeatedly occurring on the power system because of these reasons. So net transmission capacity, we call it as a generally we call it as a NTC, which is the additional transactional potential between the zone A and B, given a base scenario of the injections. So the congestion has the serious effects on the power system, which includes the severe system damages like the over voltage, sudden increase in the demand, like that. So the congestion occurs when the transmission network fails to transfer the power based on the load demand. Sometime what happens, if the load demand drastically increases, so at that time the transmission network is unable to supply that much of power. So that condition is called as the congestion. These problems are well managed by using the congestion management method. See, in the beginning I told what you mean by congestion and how the congestion effect will occur, then how to manage that, so that we are going to study. So what are the different congestion management methods which play the very important role in the current deregulated power system? Because in now today's, we are not expecting the same kind of demand, or by using the integrated resources, by including some renewables, drastically there are some problems are creating, but we need to anyhow we need to manage those. So certain congestion management methods are used in a smart grid, and what is the role of that those congestion management methods in facing the present deregulated power system, that we are going to study. Due to the large number of linked equations that describes an actual electricity network, so certain numerical methods are used to determine the load flow. Those numerical methods are we are going to already we studied. Those are Gauss-Seidel and Newton reference methods. They will use the node voltages. The base load flow calculation method basically uses the Newton reference iterations, also called as the AC load flow. So in case of the congestion management, due to the large number of linked equations, these problems may arise. But anyhow, the summarize of this is the load flow to a certain reference node, which is not of importance for the global system solution, but it is used in the calculation of the analysis which is necessary for the proper understanding of these factors. So this is the factor about the congestion management effect. Now let us study what you mean by the load flow for the smart grid design. Already in the last slide or last video lecture, we observed about the load flow studies and how the load flow is how the what is the difference between the old load flow methods as compared to the desired new load flow methods. So basically load flow methods they include the stochastic and random study of the smart grid that could be modeled with the help of with the following implementation algorithms. Certain algorithms are used to model the smart grid. The conditioning the load flow topology that requires a new methodology and algorithm that will include the feeders and the evolution of time dependent load flow methods. So these methods they have proven that in terms of the characteristic and usage in power system planning as well as in the operation. Hence the interoperability of renewable energy resources with the smart grid specifications could account for the adequate use of current methodologies to perform analysis in both usual and alert states. Now let us study the implementation algorithm proposed will extend the following capability. The model input of the renewable energy resources and the load will be changed to account for the variability. The input will have to include some of the power distribution flow so as to advance the congested value of the new estimate of P, Q, and these other parameters. These attributes also have the unique load appropriate effectiveness in the performance study. So the sparsity may be affected because the loads of the renewable energy resources may be widely distributed. That is, the load and size of the renewable energy resources has to be very effectively considered. The third point is the computational challenges in load flow with renewable energy resources for the smart grid. That specially includes the stochastic model that may affect the independent computation. So this is most important point. Third point is most important point. So computational challenges, whatever we are going to get in case of the new load flow studies, those must be effectively considered. So here the what we call the maximum amount of additional megawatt transfer which is possible between the two parts of the power system and what is the existing transfer of that, everything, these all points are studied in the new algorithm. This is the proposed load flow methodology which is used for especially for the load flow analysis. So in this load flow for a particular time k, the static network input output line and the data switch connectivity, the layer information, the line from the impedance, then the P load, Q load, B V route, all are taken for a particular time. Then it will check in this block, it will check is there any probabilistic load data available or not. Then if it is there, then are there are available the PV or wind resources or not, it will check. Otherwise it will go for updating the input file with the probabilistic load data and obtains the probabilistic parameters, and again the input file with the probabilistic sources data will be given to this file. Okay, if it is not there, if it is yes, it will go for the next parameter. Then if the available PV or wind sources is there, then again it will go to update the input file with the determined source data, otherwise it will go to this parameter. Then after that it assigns the flat voltage to all the nodes, that is V, 1 must be less than 0, then set the tolerance. Okay, then the iteration counter also it will set, then it will compute the current injection at every node. After computing the current injection, then it computes the current line current, backward current as well as the forward current, it will calculate the node forward voltage also it will calculate. After that it will compute the power mismatch whatever is there. So after calculating the power mismatch, then it checks the termination criteria whether delta S is less than sigma or not. Okay, if it is yes, then it will go and calculate the output voltage V theta, uh, S loss and P loss. Then it solves the recursive equation for the injected power Q and P and Q for the network. It will continue. Otherwise, it will go for the next iteration. It will come to the again current injection unit are calculated, and the current forward and voltage forward are current backward and voltage forward are calculated in this. So number of iterations it will try to calculate. This is the proposed load flow methodology for the power system. Now let us study what is the DSOPF computational algorithm, which is having the following criteria. Let us study about that parameter. So in this particular point, we are going to understand the performance measures of those are defined for the those are defined for the general purpose tools that about that we are going to design. So here uh, the basically in case of load flow analysis, uh, we are going to consider what is the condition of the grid and how we are going to consider this. These all parameters we are going to study in this particular parameter. So basically in case of the smart grid, uh, it's a smart grid is an electric grid where the many parameters they include the variety of operation and energy measures. So the controllability and interoperability is the most important parameters, especially in case of um, uh, the smart grid. So here what happens is in case of when we talk about the controllability, a very important point is how you are going to enable the different type of devices, especially in case of the smart grid, and how these devices are interacting with the agents. Okay, so interoperability issue comes into picture. If the different type of devices are there, how they are going to operate in between. So how the communication takes place in between the different type of devices, that is called as interoperability. So these are the points we need to consider, especially in case of the smart grid. So controllability and the interoperability are these two issues in case of the smart grid. But in case of the reliability, especially in case of reliability also, the quality of the power which is delivered, that matters the quality. So in case of the reliability, how to achieve the highest power quality and how to improve the voltage profile, those are the major attributes of the smart grid, especially the adaptability and the sustainability. These 2 points are also very important. They will consider about the ability of the grid to adapt to the changes whatever happening, and whether they are meeting the energy needs, uh, whether they sustain the life and civilization, what are the effects on the environment. These are the points we are going to highlight on that. And anticipatory behavior and affirmation of security, the ability of the grid to anticipate the different type of scenarios, and whether it is going to prepare to handle the dynamic changes which are occurring on the system, whether security is there or not. These all are the things what we are going to have. The new algorithm, DSOPF algorithm, whatever we are going to propose, it must have these all are characteristics. Now let us study the DSOPF application to the smart grid. So the very first application to these techniques are the adaptive dynamic programming technique, ADP, which is the computational intelligence technique that incorporates time framework for the implementation of DSOPF. Uh, there is a need for a generalized framework for solving the many classes of power system problems, where the programmers, domain experts, they are all included and it will try to create the generalized framework in solving the different kind of issues, and that can be submitted their challenge problem to the researchers. Then the collective knowledge will be published and posted on the web for the dissemination also. So this is what I'm trying to cover in this particular video lecture. So in the next video lecture we'll study the next part of the first module. Thank you.